Hey all, welcome to the first video in this channel. My official first attempt at trying to revamp or improve on the map that is supposed to be Azeroth. Now, as some of you might know, the Crafting Azeroth map, which I'm linking to in the description, isn't made by me, but was made by some other people using a computer program, rendering the entire world of Azeroth as it was back in 2013 into Minecraft blocks. Now, as you can tell, for those of you that played Warcraft, World of Warcraft, I'm currently at the gate to Stormwind. Now, being a Alliance player myself, I like to start off close to here. I'm just going to give you all a little look of what's going on. Now, as you can tell, everything is here, but the problem with this map is that it's made by a computer program, and computer programs are notoriously stupid, so there's a lot of stuff here, but it's not all that great. As you can tell, this is pretty, well, blank. Houses are incomplete or looking rather silly. As you can tell here, these walls are pretty erratic, and this stuff here is also pretty interesting looking. There's been some work done here, but we'll start off actually at a location where no work has been done, which is the starting area for humans, namely Northshire, which is somewhere down here. Ooh. It's a pretty big map, so it renders slowly sometimes. Now I'm also using shaders and silly stuff to make it look pretty. Here we go. This is the entrance to Northshire. I'll just drop down here. Now, as you can tell, this is pretty much as it looks in World of Warcraft, but, well, the detailing is pretty... there's not much there. And when you come into here, follow the road, you can tell that there is some silliness going on here. This is supposed to be a tent. Well, it isn't really. Those are supposed to be wagons with merchants in them. They're not wagons. And as we progress down here across the river into the burning fields, you can tell that, well, they're perpetually alight. Now, this map was made during the time when the Cataclysm expansion ran, so all the Cataclysm events occurred, making the map a little bit more fiery. The map uses a couple of add-ons to facilitate movement around the map. Particularly the teleports add-on is pretty much mandatory, since if you don't use it you can't go up mountains or down. There's 7 or 5 or 4 layers depending on what area of the world you're in, as opposed to the 1 layer that the regular Minecraft maps use. So the build height isn't actually 250 blocks, 254, but it's actually 250 times, well, the number of layers. So in this case we're in Azeroth. There's, off the top of my head, 5 layers active, 1 at ground level, 1 below sea level, and then a couple above. So the build height from bedrock to the sky is roughly 1500 blocks, which is pretty big. Now, the models that they are using in this map are also pretty big, but they are not very useful. I'll light them up a bit. I'll have to set the night cycle to false later, because it's annoying to build when it turns to night every time. As you can tell, this building is there, but the inside is pretty messy. This is supposed to be a nice, evenly decorated floor. There's supposed to be a staircase going up. For those of you that have actually been to Northshire Abbey, which is where we are now, you'll know that there's a library, I believe, somewhere down here, which, well, is represented in some form, but, well, it's not really impressive. And also this is looking rather messy. So that is what we're going to be changing. I'm going to try and make these areas habitable for actual survival or other play. Meaning that I'll be decorating buildings, adding NPCs here and there, and if I ever get around to it, I'll try to actually do some quests or whatever using different add-ons that you can find. I'm actually linking the add-ons that I'm using for this server in the description, so you can run the same map with the same add-ons if you want to. Because the map is still downloadable. I only downloaded it recently, and the fun thing is that since the map was created, a lot of new add-ons came out. So there's actually a lot more blocks that we can use nowadays. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. I'll just pop out a sec and set the daylight cycle to false, and then we'll be right back and have some fun. Okay, so we reloaded the map. I added the Alwaysday plugin for buckets so that we don't get those nasty night cycles. Don't get mobs spawning everywhere. Of course, they do spawn. There we are. Creeper. Yeah. I'm not going to add any specific mobs or whatever to the server. I'm just going to run with what's here. And since it's a bucket server, there's really not much room for additional mobs. That's not really the goal either. When we're done building the map, people can probably download it, and I'll probably make it available at some point, and then you can run with it on a Forge server or whatever and have your way with it. But for now we'll just have to make it nice and see what's what. So yeah, Northshire. Northshire is the starting area for humans. This map starts you off in Outland. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to want to have people spawn here, roughly, because this is the location where humans spawn in World of Warcraft when they first appear in the world, and then they can start questing. It might be a bit more down there, but well, doesn't matter. So let's see. We set the world spawn for where I'm standing right now. So whenever another player comes into the map, then they'll spawn right here, and they'll see all the nice work that we've done thus far. Now, we're going to start off with the entrance, actually. So I'm going to pop down over here to see what's what. We have a tree growing right there, which is messing up the wall to Northshire. The wall is actually pretty massive. It's got some mossy stone, blockstone and everything. But we'll want to get rid of this stuff so we can do detailing on the wall as we go. This is actually wool, I think. Interesting choice. But it's closest to the color of the actual roofing for this wall, I guess. So what they did when they ran the map generator is they allocated Minecraft blocks to specific blocks or textures from World of Warcraft. And well, you end up with some interesting combinations here and there when you do that. So let's see what we have. They actually covered up quite a big spot with trees. Might actually be there in the real world, I don't know. But, well, we don't want it. We want a nice clean wall. It's not really the goal, or my goal, to make a completely accurate copy of the World of Warcraft, because, well, if people want to play World of Warcraft, they should really just play World of Warcraft. What I want to do is I want to try and make a nice homage to that game. I mean, I've played World of Warcraft on and off for, well, almost the entire time it's been running. Right now I haven't played it for a while due to studying and whatever. I might go back to it. There's a nice expansion coming out in a few months, Battle for Azeroth. I might check it out. It looks pretty cool. For now we'll have to wait, see what happens. I actually got into the beta for that, so maybe I'll check it out before help them test the new expansion. It should be good. Getting back to the root of the problem between the Horde and Alliance. For those of you that haven't played World of Warcraft and you want to get an idea of what the world is like, I suggest you run trial accounts. It's free and it's fun. You can play the first 20 levels or so. Yeah, I love the game. So yeah, this is pretty much my idea of an homage. And at the same time it's my idea of having some fun building, because that's the one thing I've always missed in World of Warcraft. I mean, it's the fact that when you want to make something your own, you really can't. It's not that kind of a game, it's an RPG, so it's all about, well, questing and leveling and at some point end game, so raiding and stuff like that. But when you want to actually create something, you have to do it in roleplay, so you can actually pretend that some part of the world is yours. Say that, oh, this building is mine, and we live here and have a guild there and have meetings and all that. I was actually in, or am actually in a guild currently. I have been in that guild for a long time. And we have our base in Stormwind in the library. We use it for that. But the thing is that, well, people can come in there all the time. They can just walk in and mess up meetings and, well, do all sorts of stuff. And in Minecraft you can actually build your own base. You can make everything your own. You can lock the doors, you can build walls, you can have parties and do whatever. So yeah, that's fun, and I think that this map really offers a way to have both, really. You can be in the World of Warcraft, but at the same time create something entirely your own. I actually intend to find some nice corner of the world at some point and build some fun survival tools, some nice farms, and yeah, you can actually have some fun in survival in there then. Okay, so I think we've cleared most of the wall out. Can actually do this a lot faster, I guess, but well, it gives me a nice chance to talk to you guys a bit. I have Worldedit running, so I'll be using that to do bigger block updates for larger parts of the world. So let's see what we have right now. Well, I'm making holes in my wall. Oh, it's actually hollow. Well, that's spawn fest waiting to happen. Let's actually do something about that. Ooh, Monster Hunter, yay. Actually, should do something about this being hollow. We'll check the outside first. Since the wall is starting at this mountain here, it goes all the way over this side and ends right there. So let's see, we'll make this nice and even. As some of you probably can tell, this is my very first Minecraft video. I'm just going with my gut for a lot of this. And I guess that's the best way to go if you're doing something creative. And just start somewhere and see what happens. An art teacher of mine once said that the best art comes from making mistakes. And if that is true, then I'll probably create some fine art. So let's go to the other side. Is this what we want? This is more like what we want. So let's see. I think we can actually make this a bit more gradual by using stairs. I have to fill this in. There. As you can tell, I don't really have a predetermined plan for this. I'm actually just going with what feels right. And it didn't feel right for the roof of this place to start inside the wall there. See what happens if we drop some stairs here. Give it a more gradual feel. See if we can make that symmetrical. One and then a drop down. I think this will be it's an interesting place for a set of leaves, but okay. They actually spawned an entire tree in there. Alright. No, it's not working. extends all the way down there, but well, we don't really want to see that. Okay, let's see. Take some distance. It looks better. The edge of the wall, at least. Now we'll just have to do something about this, because it should be 3 rows down, gradually extending to the ground. See, they used block stone for that. There. And there's actually a piece of wall up here. That we're filling in. There we go. Can actually leave that. It's not bothering me. This is not nicely symmetrical. We'll have to see what we can do about that. I think it would be good if we extended the wood across the front of the gate as well. Might not be entirely what it is in the actual world, but hell, we are allowed some creative freedom. See, there's a lot of holes, random stuff going on here. I'm gonna have to fix that at some point. Just clear this out first, see where we are. To prevent us from falling into holes. There. And we can see Northshire Abbey from here, which is also looking interestingly blocky. Now, as you can tell, I'm not using any alternate blocks. I'm running this on a bucket server, so the choices are pretty limited as far as that goes. But it's also, well, a purist thing. I mean, the map was created originally in, I think, Minecraft 1.7 or 1.8. So there's all these add-ons are going around where you can add lots of blocks and mods that allow you to have angled blocks and things like that, but I've always liked the concept of just being able to build with, well, with squares really. Now let's see if we can make this. Nice and alright. That looks promising. The start of it is at least a bit more controlled. It feels like there's actually some thought to this. And there is some thought to it, but well, we'll have to clean it up some more to make it actually clean completely. So let's see, we've got, no, we need that one, don't need those. If we want this to slate down 3 times, then this is good. This is, this is okay. I'll just add an angle there. And it looks, yeah, that looks okay. Of course, now we have one layer down from here. Oh, we can't have that there. See how we fare if we take this out.